Hello. So, good day. Uh, Once again, so gagawa po tayo ng content related sa ating web development track subject. Today, gagawa tayo ng part 1 ng ating video related to connecting to database. Then, gagawa tayo ng CRUD functionality starting with create and read. So, sa part 1 ng video natin, gagawa tayo ng simple application that will connect to a MySQL database. Then, gagawa tayo ng create and read. Yeah. So, ito yung apat na functionality sa isang web application, yung CRUD natin. So, mag-start muna tayo sa create. So, first thing, dapat meron tayong working sample na database na pwedeng gamitin. So, dapat marunong tayong gumawa ng database gamit ang DBMS natin like MySQL or SAMP, I should say. So, meron tayong SAMP dito. Installed na siya, naka-ready na. Ayan. So, start lang natin. Ayan. At the same time, kailangan din natin ng working web server para makapag-test tayo ng application, yung gagawin natin application. Ayan. So, working naman siya. Ayan, zoom natin. Ayan. So, yung Apache, ulitin, i-explain lang natin. Kailangan natin yung Apache dito nang sa gayon makapag-run test tayo sa isang browser. Second, kailangan din natin ng MySQL para makagawa tayo ng database para dun sa example na gagawin natin today. So, first off, gawa tayo ng database. So, let's go to a browser. Ayan. So, sa browser natin, ilalagay lang natin sa URL yung localhost phpMyAdmin. Gaya nito. Ayan. For us to open yung DBMS ng ating SAMP, dito tayo gagawa ng database. Yeah, so as you can see on the left hand side, meron tayong database na. Gagawa tayo ng bago for this demonstration. Let's say db sample1. Zoom natin. Ayan. So after we add the name of the database, just click create. Ayan. Lagyan natin yung mouse para makita sa display. Settings. Size. Malagyan additional settings. Pointer and size. Ayan. Then lagyan natin konti. Ayan, para makita. Okay. So for example, gagawa tayo ng simple records ng teachers, since Teachers Day today. So lagyan natin teachers record, yung pangalan ng table. Second, we need to identify ilang column or columns yung kailangan natin. So for the demo, let's create at least 6 fields. Ayan. So we need to add the fields starting with ID. Gawin natin siyang auto increment, always yan. And then yung other related fields na kailangan natin for the table. So let's say for example, employee ID of the teacher, first name. So So when creating the field name, wag muna tayong gumamit ng mga special characters or spaces or white space. So we can make use of underscore for this matter, like this. Yan, pwede po yan. And then maglagay tayo ng position. Yan, I forgot to add isang field. Mag-add tayo ng isang field kung kaya pa. Ayun, add one column. Yan, dagdag tayo ng created at. Yan. So for the rest of the fields, varchar 50 na lang to make it uniform. Then inal natin silang lahat except for the ID. Varchar 50, then position will be varchar 50, and then yung created at field natin, gawin natin siyang timestamp. Ayan. So when we're done, click lang natin yung save button sa bottom section ng window. Ayan. So we're done with the table. So next, gawa na tayo ng simple application using our VS Code. Okay, so alam naman natin lahat kung gagawa tayo ng project, we need to create a specific folder for our project located sa ating SAMP htdocs folder. Well, that depends kung saan in-install yung SAMP sa isang computer. So normally by default nasa C siya. Yeah, so open natin to. Yung location na nasa screen should be on local disk C, SAMP, and then htdocs. So just select the folder you created. So create tayo ng bago. Gawa tayo ng CRUD na folder. Open natin. Select folder. Okay. So first off, we're going to establish a connection to our database using this project. Just going to create a folder named includes. Inside includes, we will add another file which is dbconnection.php. Ayan. So in this tutorial, we will make use of PHP. Ito po yung file structure natin or yung directory structure natin. We have the CRUD folder as the root directory. We have a subdirectory includes. And then yung file na dbcon.php na bagong gawa lang. So inside the document, mag-add tayo ng PHP dito. PHP script for database connection. So since this is for demonstration, kukunin na lang natin lahat ng resources online to make the development faster, no, for us. So let's go to w3schools.com. Ayan. Ito yung website niya. Hanapin nyo lang yung PHP na tab. Scroll down on the left side. Hanapin natin yung database connect, or sorry, MySQL database connect. Ayan, scroll down, look for PDO. Ito siya. So, copyan lang natin yung code displayed on the screen. Ayan. So, para mabilis po tayo, no? So, this is the connection used by PDO to connect to the database using our application. So, dito, we have a default username. Ito lang po yung papalitan. And then, yung password should be blank by default. So, default settings to sa ating SAMP. So, note natin. Yan. So, that depends kung yung computer nyo, when upon installing SAMP, nag-set up tayo ng username and password. So, gamitin po natin yon. Kung hindi, we could make use of the default settings when connecting to a database, which is localhost by default. Username is root, and then password is blank. Yeah, so let's go ahead and go back to our database. So, ang database name natin is dbsample1. Palitan lang natin ito. Itong pangalan ng database, dbsample1. And then, that's it. Tapos na yung connection ng database. But, bago po natin gawin yung create natin sa application, disable muna natin or comment muna natin yung section ng error messages dito sa connection, including the connection successful. Yan. Comment muna natin so that kapag nag-run yung application, hindi sasabihin ng application na we're trying to connect to the database. So, yung application na bahala doon for us. So, test muna natin. Let's go to a browser. Open tayo ng new tab. Gaya nito. Yan. Type lang natin yung localhost. And then, yung pangalan ng folder na ginawa natin kanina, which is CRUD or CRUD. And then, just add slash or forward slash. So, we need to navigate inside the folder of includes. Gaya nito. And then, yung file name ng database connection, which is dbcon.php. So, hit enter. Ayan. So, as you can see, we cannot see anything on the screen. It's because naka-comment lahat ng messages inside the connections script. So, if we want to check or to verify kung connected ba siya o hindi, we just need to uncomment yung line 14. Gaya nito. Ayan. So, save natin. So, we should be able to see kung connected na yung application o hindi. Ayan. So, as you can see on the screen, we have the message says connected successfully. So, in here, we were able to establish a connection using the project we created with a script on using PHP to connect the project to a specific database sa ating DBMS using SAMP, of course. Okay, so next, we're going to create inside our root directory, CRUD, we will create a separate file. Recording, sir, for my YouTube channel. So, we're going to create another file that says create. Then, ilalabas lang natin to sa root directory natin na CRUD. Move lang natin. Ayan, so this will PHP lang, sir.
Kaya nga Laragon?
Laragon.
Laragon framework?
Hindi, sir. Kwan lang. Ano ba to? Full stack. So, when upon creating the create.php, we're just going to add a traditional HTML structure code. And then we're going to add yung connection or call the connection we created earlier. So, yung first line ng code dapat natin, just after the HTML structure, we just need to add PHP require. Gaya nito. And then, tawagin lang natin yung database connection na ginawa natin kanina. But do not forget, nasa loob siya ng specific folder, includes. So, tawagin natin includes. And then, slash. And then, yung pangalan ng database connection or file name na ginawa natin kanina. Just like this. Ayan. So, we have two files created already. So, if you want to check if we're getting the same results, doon sa mismong URL natin, palitan lang natin yung lagay lang natin yung root directory pa rin, and then yung file na gusto nating i-run, like create.php. Ayan, so we're still getting the same results, saying na connected pa rin yung project or yung application sa database na ginawa natin kanina. Okay? So dito, pwede na nating tanggalin yung database message that says yung application is connected na, kasi hindi naman na kailangang sabihin na yung program mo ay connected sa database. So, alam na natin, we're positive that our application is now connected to the database. Okay? So, dito, let's go back to the create. First thing to do is let's add a simple form for us to enter information and then upon entering that information, the process should, if we click a button that will submit information into the database, so mag-save lang tayo. That's why we're going to create process, parang ganun, no? So, gagawa tayo ng form, gaya nito. So, para mabilisan yung trabaho, gamitin natin yung IntelliSense ng VS Code. Type lang natin form, select post, and then mag-add tayo ng class name sa Bootstrap para naka-ready na in the future, gaya ng form group. Gaya nyan. Mag-add tayo ng label. And then, after the label, mag-add tayo ng input. Select lang natin yung text. And then, mag-add na tayo ng class name na form control para naka-ready na siya pag gagamit na tayo ng Bootstrap. Ayan. And then, mag-add tayo ng isang button. Just type in input, and then on the bottom section, look for submit. Enter. Ayan. Then, let's add class for btn primary. So dito hindi pa tayo gagamit ng Bootstrap, pero gumagamit na tayo ng specific class name selector so that in the future kung gagamit na tayo ng Bootstrap, naka-ready na siya. Okay? So yung database structure natin, we have 6 fields. ID, employee ID, first name, middle name, last name, position, and great. But ang gagawan lang natin dito ng form input is yung item 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Hindi na natin kailangan gawan yung ID tsaka yung created at. Okay, just to be clear. So, let's create 5 of this. Highlight natin yung 12 to 15. Paste natin ng 6 na beses or 5 na beses, 5 beses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 beses pa. 5, 6. 5 lang pala. So, tanggalin natin yung isa. Ayan. So, after which, pwede na tayong maglagay ng labels on each text. So, let's start with employee ID. Add tayo ng first name. Add tayo ng middle name. Yung ginawa nating fields, yun lang yung dinadagdag natin dito. And then, last name. I missed the position. So, isa pa. Employee ID, first name, middle name, tama, last name, and then position. Ayan. So, after nito, after we add the labels on each input text, pwede na tayo mag-add ng mga names ng mga input text natin for us to identify them, each text box. So, maglagay lang tayo ng name related dun sa kung ano yung data na ilalagay ng isang user. So, lagay lang natin MID for short. Ito, bahala po kayo maglagay ng gusto nyo. It's up to you. So, pwedeng shortcut gaya ng N or FN, meaning first name, or MN for middle name, or LN for last name, and POS for position, and then we also need a name for the button. Gaya nito. Ayan. So, mag-add lang tayo ng button na name create. Okay. Ayan. So, we're done with the form. Mag-add lang tayo ng title. Let's say H1. Lagay tayo ng H1 na title na add new teacher's record. Ayan. So, run natin for us to check kung ano yung result. Ayun. So, we have a form. So, kailangan lang siyang maayos. Ayusin lang natin. So, lagay tayo na save now. Okay. Okay, gandahan natin. Maglagay na tayo ng CSS konti muna para gumanda konti. Lagay tayo ng style, body, font, family will be Arial. And then yung form natin, lagay tayo ng, gamitin natin yung form group. Lagay tayo ng width na 300. And then text align be right. Tingnan natin kung may changes. Ayun. And then maglagay tayo ng padding button or margin button. 4px. Ayan. And then yung form natin, maglagay tayo ng text align center na lang para lang maayos natin. Ayan. Fix natin width para parehas. Ayan. So ganito muna para at least meron lang maayos lang siyang tignan. So next na gagawin natin is mag-add tayo ng PHP script, of course, on top of the form for us to create the process na kung saan kapag i-click ni user yung save is isa-save niya yung data ng form into our table. So the simplest way to do that is by using if and then iset method sa PHP. That's the simplest process to do it. So ito po yung code natin. You just need to call the button create, and then kailangan natin ng query for this one, query that will allow us to save the data of the form papunta sa ating database. Okay, so para mabilis, ulitin ko ulit, let's go to our resource, hanapin lang natin yung MySQL database, insert data, and then scroll down, look for PDO kasi PDO po yung gagamitin natin. Hanapin lang natin ito, yung sample. Yan. So highlight natin to, then paste natin. So papalitan lang natin yung pangalan ng table, of course, and then yung fields na meron dito, papalitan lang natin related dun sa mga fields na kailangan natin. But for me, I will remove the fields para shortcut na.
Wala pa to. Gusto mo doon sa backend ko na rin. Sa YouTube channel siya.
And then papalitan lang natin yung values, of course. Okay? So first, palitan muna natin yung pangalan ng table. So I'm using, kung babalik tayo sa DBMS natin, I'm using table teachers record. So palitan lang natin to, remove natin. Teachers record. Then tip ko sa values para hindi magka-error to, tanggalin muna natin yung values gaya niyan. Then kung ilan yung fields dito sa table, yun din yung bilang dapat ng values. So yun lang yung basic idea dito para hindi magka-error. So we need to add 7 of this. Yan. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. Ayan. After mong mag-add ng 7 na values separated by comma, papalitan lang natin siya one by one. So since we have an ID, lalagay lang natin una null. Next, papalitan natin to ng, or maglalagay tayo ng post, and then yung pangalan ng input. So ang ginamit ko kanina is empid. Second is FN, short for first name. So, ganito lang yung code niya. Ayan. Second is middle name. And then last name. After ng last name, yung POS or position. And then yung last item, which is yung created at dito sa may table, gagawin lang natin siyang now. Hindi ako nagkakamali. Yan. Okay, now is a function sa MySQL that will return the current date or time. So since yung connection natin sa page sa database connection is gumagamit siya ng variable con, yun din yung gagamitin niya or natin dito. So wala na tayong babaguhin dyan. So remove natin yung comment, maglalagay tayo ng sarili natin. Ito yung SQL query to insert record coming from a form to our table. Ayan. So whenever the query is executed on line 28, i-execute nyo yung query. After nung query, it will display the record or the message record, new record created successfully. Okay, so let's test. Balik lang tayo sa browser, save lang natin yung file, of course. Balik tayo sa browser, then doon sa form natin, reload lang natin siya gaya nito. Then let's try to add some information like employee ID, pangalan, last name, and then position or ano ba, structure 1. So let's try to hit save to see if there's okay. So as you can see, nag-reload lang yung web page natin, but the thing is meron ba siyang na save sa table. So let's go to our database, click natin, ayun, there you have it. So meron na tayong record. So ulitin natin, mag-split screen tayo para makita. Ayan, balik tayo sa database table. So let's try to add, let's add another employee. Instructor 3. Okay, so let's try to hit save. Balik tayo sa database, let's click browse. Ayun, so as you can see, nakukuha ng table or nasa-save yung data sa table na nanggaling dun sa form na ginawa natin. But just a reminder, dito sa form na ginawa natin, wala pa, ang ginagawa lang talaga niya is to get the data from the form, then sinasave niya using this query. Okay, wala pa siyang validation na nangyayari. So yun lang yung ginagawa nito, okay? Well, we can perform a basic validation by using yung HTML5 natin, like required. Gaya nito, mag-add lang tayo ng required. This will make sure that our form will require input bago na i-submit yung form. Yun. So, if we're going to reload the form, gaya nito, and when we hit save without entering anything on the input text box, it will prompt something about please enter field. Yan. So may lumalabas siya. Okay? Hindi siya mag-save or hindi siya mag-move forward. Dapat meron kang ilalagay due to the required na nilagay natin doon sa end ng input. Okay? Or you can create your own validation before ma-execute yung query. So before you execute the query, pwede ka na mag-add ng if statement using PHP of course, or else if statement for us to validate the data na galing sa form, kung tama ba yung format. Let's say for example, if you want to make sure that the employee ID is a numeric value, so we can make use of is numeric function gaya nito. Then tawagin lang natin yung pangalan nung input using this one. Kulang ng isa. Ayan. Yeah. So this numeric function will return if this data coming from the form is a number. So kung gusto natin siyang gawing false, lagyan lang natin ng operator na not. So kung true yung statement na to, magre-return lang tayo ng specific error or message saying na invalid email, or sorry, invalid employee password. Invalid employee password. Okay? So let's try. Lagyan natin ng else sa baba. Nang sa gayon hindi niya i-execute yung query kapag na-hit niya yung true statement dun sa may if. Ayan. So again, pag na-hit niya yung statement na if, kapag true ito, kasi hindi daw number yung employee ID na linagay niya, it will return a message saying na invalid yung employee ID, sorry, mali pala, employee ID na linagay ni user. Then dun na mag-end yung process nito, hindi na siya tutuloy. So definitely the user will change the input, gagawin niya ng number. So tatalon na siya dito sa else. That's the time na execute niya na yung query. Ayan. So try natin. Reload natin siya. Libre. Okay, so let's try. Mag-add tayo muna ng letters. Gaya niyan. Mag-add tayo ng pangalan. S Agoto Teacher 3. Ayan, so it's saying na invalid daw yung employee ID. So hindi siya nag-execute dyan. To verify, balik tayo sa ating table kung meron siyang linagay o wala. So unfortunately wala. No, naulit yun lang, naulit yung kaninang input, siguro na refresh. Okay, ulitin natin just to make sure. Maglagay tayo ng text characters sa employee ID to validate. Maglagay tayo ng pangalan, Rowell for example, S Bigayan, position principal. Save natin. Okay, it is still saying to us na invalid daw yung employee ID, but to verify kung meron ba nangyari sa table, browse ulit natin. Yan, I'm still getting 3 records, so walang nadadagdag, no? What if we're going to correct our input? Let's say mag-add tayo ng 103 or 130 as employee ID. Mag-add tayo ng name like Stella. Nandito pa man din sa mga Stella Dirain. L Dirain. Mag-add tayo ng position, CEO, for example. Ayun. So, we are getting the new record created successfully. So, reload lang natin siya. Ayun, there you have it. So, we can now see na meron tayong data added, newly added sa ating table. Okay. So, let's move on. So, yun muna for the meantime, for the sake of this demo. Next is we're going to create another file na ang pangalan is read.php. Okay? So, kung titignan nyo yung directory tree natin dito, still, yung create natin, tsaka yung read is nasa root directory, kasama nung includes na subfolder. Sa loob ng includes, meron doon yung database connection natin. Okay? Ayan. So, sa inside ng read natin, still, we just need to do the same process as what we did earlier sa create. Mag-add tayo ng HTML, gaya nito. Basic HTML structure, And then, yung first line natin, tawagin natin yung database connection using require. And then, tawagin lang ulit natin yung directory kung saan located yung connection, like includes, and then dbcon.php. Okay? So, test muna natin bago tayo gumawa ng code or magdagdag. So, we just need to type sa URL yung read.php. Okay, so blank screen or white screen, meaning to say wala siyang sinasabing error. So I'm assuming the application is still connected to the database. If you want to double check, uncomment natin yung mga messages dito sa connection like this, uncomment natin. So reload ulit natin yung read. Okay, so it's still saying na connected siya sa database. Okay, balik tayo, comment ulit natin. Ayan. Now, we can now start sa ating read. So, read is used to retrieve data from a database or from a resource. Okay? So, dito, yung data natin or yung resource ng data is galing sa isang table na nasa isang database. So, madali lang siyang gawin. No? Mag-add tayo ng PHP. Gaya nito. Since meron na tayong connection, hindi mo na kailangan tawagin dito sa baba, nasa taas na siya, line 1. Kailangan lang ulit natin ng query. So dito dapat marunong tayong gumamit ng query. So I will make use a variable q, short for query. This is just a variable. If you want to make it more simplified or yung meron siyang identity, yung pwede nyong lagyan ng short description kung ano yung query or yung variable, bahala kayo, no? But para mabilis yung demonstration natin, gagamit lang tayo ng variable q. Then we will make use of the query select asterisk from the name of the table, kung ano yung table. So to eliminate error, balikan na lang natin yung database natin. Tignan nyo na lang yung spelling ng table because it matters. Kasi kung wrong spelling yan, ilalagay natin, wala siyang makikita. So teacher's record. So lagay lang natin record. Then semicolon. Ayan. So if you notice, naglalagay pa rin ako ng semicolon dun sa end ng query, pero pwedeng wala po yan. So pwedeng tanggalin na ganyan, no? But as a golden rule, kung magra-run kasi tayo ng query sa query command, always sana dapat meron na lang para maiwasan yung problem in the future. So nilalagay ko pa rin siya, although gumagana pa rin naman. Next, using PHP PDO, madali na lang niyang i-convert yung data ng table sa isang array using query function sa PHP PDO. Okay? So, ang gagawin lang natin, tawagin lang natin yung connection string, variable niya, con, and then query, gaya nito. So, inside the query function, tawagin lang natin yung variable q, and then terminate. Okay? Ayan. So, dito, ang ginagawa niya na is, kino-convert niya na yung data ng table mo into an array. So, pwede mo na siyang ma-access using statements like for each. Yun yung kagandahan niya, no? So, ang gagawin lang natin dito, gagamit na tayo ng for each statement. Gaya niyan. Of course, tanggalin mo na yung terminator doon. And then, gumamit na tayo ng isang variable para gamitin na para mai-display natin isa-isa yung data, no? So gagamit lang tayo ng variable data. Ayan. So the only thing dito is, ang maiiba lang dito, since gagamit tayo ng for each, hindi siya gaya ng array na traditional na gagamit ka ng index number to get the data, no? So normally using array, gagamit tayo ng index number 0, mag-start ng 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Dito kasi ang tatawagin na natin is yung field name from the table. So like MID first name, yan na po yung tatawagin natin. Okay? So for example, ganito siya. So let's add data. And then MID. Gaya niyan. So of course, if we want to display, mag-add lang tayo ng echo. And then, of course, dire-diretso yan. So, kung gusto mong bumaba, maglagay ka lang ng BR. Ayan. So, tapos na po yung read natin. So, ganyan lang kabilis yung gagawa ng read function or process sa isang application, no? So, test natin. Moment of truth. Ayan. So, yung mga numbers na nakikita nyo ngayon sa screen, ito yung mga employee ID na meron sa ating database. 12, 23, 23, 1,300. Ayan. Na employee ID. Tanggalin natin isa kasi doble. Ayun. Okay, we only have 3 records. Ayan. So, ito lang, ganito lang kasimple kung paano siya i-display. So, ang kailangan na lang natin gawin is to make our output more understandable sa isang user. Of course, gawa natin siya ng table, 'di ba? I-display natin in a ano ba, mas maayos na presentation sa isang user kung sino man yung makakita nung ginagawa nating project. So, the best way here is to add table, of course. So, dito, para hindi kayo mahirapan sa coding, huwag niyong dire-diretsuhin. Gawin niyo muna yung table structure. Yan. Yan. Pagtapos na tayo sa table structure natin, pwede na natin buhatin yung code natin one by one. Okay? So, paano? Simple lang. Buhatin natin yung PHP. Diyan. Then, i-close natin. So, meron na yung query natin. Nasa loob na ng table. Yung susunod na bubuhatin natin is yung for each. So, ilalagay natin to sa loob ng table. Buhatin mo ganyan. Ilagay mo lang sa after ng query. Of course, ilagay mo siya sa PHP para hindi mag-error. Ayan. And then, dahil dito sa loob ng for each yung loop nung pag-display ng data na galing sa table, dapat tong TR nasa loob din ng for each. So, the best way to do this is ganito. I-close muna natin siya. Then, mag-open ulit tayo ng bago sa loob. Gaya niyan. Okay. So, pwede pala yun, no? Na pwede kang mag-add na kahit ilang PHP script sa loob ng isang HTML document. For as long as you are following yung basic structure ng HTML pa rin at ng PHP. Meaning, kung nag-open ka ng PHP tag, kailangan mo rin siyang i-close. Okay? So, kung nag-close ka sa baba, make sure na meron siyang open tag sa taas. And still, nandun pa rin yung tamang syntax ng mga linagay mong PHP statement gaya ng for each. So, kung naglagay ka ng for each na statement gaya nito, at meron siyang open doon sa taas, dapat meron din siyang close sa baba. So, yun lang. Kailangan mo lang i-follow yung correct syntax nung dalawang ginagamit natin, yung HTML tsaka nung PHP. So, next na gagawin natin dito, i-move na natin yung TR kasi dito magdi-display sa loob ng for each. Kung mapapansin nyo, nasa loob na. Yan. And the last step would be, ilalagay lang natin sa loob yung echo natin gaya nito. Ayan. Okay, of course di na natin kailangan ng BR dyan kasi nasa loob naman na ng TR, table row, gaya nyan. Okay, so meron na tayong employee ID. Maglagay tayo ng header employee ID. Okay, so test na natin. Let's go to our browser. Ayan. So, as you can see, it's loading pero hindi nakikita yung border kasi hindi tayo naglagay eh. So, maglagay na lang tayo ng style. CSS na lang para maganda naman konti. Ayan. So, nakalimutan ko to. Border style. Border style. Groove. Tama? Border style. Groove. Border width. Ayan. So, kung meron na kayong knowledge or basic skills sa CSS, bahala na kayo kung paano nyo aayusin yan in the future. This is sample lang naman to, demo, kung paano mag-read or mag-retrieve ng data from table, no? Ito, inaayos ko lang yung border ng ating, ayun, meron na tayong border. Okay? Lagay tayo ng cell padding. Ito, paborito ko to. Cell padding. Tayo ng cell padding 4. Ayan. So, dito hindi pa natin ma-appreciate talaga kung paano yung record, nadi-display yung record, pero pwede na natin siyang ayusin. Mag-add na tayo ng fields like first name.
Sir, kagawad di Maura. Sir, kagawad Maura.
Thank you.
Pari kagawad
First
Maura.
name. And then lagay pa tayo ng th middle name. Isang th pa. Last name. And then position. And then th date created. Okay? So ito, ganun din. Copy paste mo lang.
Red doors to
Pwede
i-print
siyang middle name, last name, and then may underscore ata yun. Wait lang, check natin. Tama, may underscore yung last name natin. And then position. Ayan. Yung mga field names po, ito wag nyo kakalimutan. Yung pangalan ng field sa table na ginawa natin earlier. So, paste ulit. Natin. Created at. Ayan. So, we're getting now the data from our table. Okay? So, eto. What if gusto na natin makita yung dalawa? So, gamit muna ako ng new tab in another browser, or tama, on the same browser, crude and create. Ayan. So, ang idea dito is that kung maglalagay ka ng data dito sa form natin, we can now display the data from a web page. So, hindi na natin kailangang pumunta sa database, no? Ayan. So, parang hassle-free na siya kasi meron ka ng create, meron ka ng read at the same time. So, try natin. Got tayo ng new employee like Samuel S. Magpun. Teacher 4, for example. Ayan. So, new record successfully. Ayan. Dito sa browser na sa kabila. Refresh lang natin. Ayun. Okay? Ayan. Maganda sana kung meron siyang auto-reload. Pero ito, ginagawa ko before. I am adding a auto-reload sa web page gaya ng Meta. Hanap tayo ng Meta. Meta refresh. Ayan, ito ginagamit ko before. Content will be 3. Ayan. Meaning in 2 seconds the page will automatically reload itself. Yun lang. No? Ayan. So let's try. Add tayo ng bago. 1001 2 save. Gino S. Rabino. Rabino? Rabina? Rabina. Okay. Let's say programmer. Ayun. So niloload niya na, no? Ito kasi nagre-reload siya every 2 seconds. That's why if you can see, nagbe-blink yung logo ng browser. Ayan, because of that process. Maganda siya, though meron din siyang downfall minsan. Lalo na kung meron kang search dito na ilalagay in the future. But for the demonstration of this video, dito lang muna tayo. Okay? So, ayan, this is the end of the demonstration. I will add the script sa description ng video na to. So, I hope makatulong sa klase nyo. So, goodbye. And thank you for listening, guys.